The bold and the beautiful recap. Daphne's condition shocks everyone. The halls of Forrester Creations were buzzing with their usual mix of glamour, ambition, and tension, but today, an undercurrent of fear rippled through the air, touching every character in unexpected ways. The episode began on a deceptively calm note, with the sun streaming through the expansive windows of the Forrester mansion, casting golden highlights over the vibrant chaos of designer sketches, fabric swatches, and whispered secrets. But beneath the surface, the world of fashion's favorite family was about to be rocked in ways none of them could have imagined. Daphne's sudden collapse. The day started with hope and excitement. Daphne had been glowing with optimism over a recent breakthrough in her personal life, a new relationship, a possible promotion at Forrester Creations, and the chance to finally step out from the shadows of her family's expectations. She walked through the studio with her usual grace, her smile lighting up the room, greeting colleagues and friends with warmth. But suddenly, in the middle of an animated conversation about fabric designs, Daphne's body betrayed her. A sharp pain struck her chest, and her vision blurred. She staggered, clutching her side, her eyes wide with fear. "Daphne!" Someone shouted. The studio erupted into chaos as she collapsed to the ground, her presence, once so commanding, now helpless and vulnerable. Steffy rushed to her side, panic evident in her usually composed demeanor. "Daphne, stay with me," she cried, shaking her gently. Liam and Wyatt appeared moments later, their expressions etched with confusion and dread. The once bustling studio fell into an eerie silence as everyone watched, powerless, as Daphne's condition became the center of attention. The hospital rush. Daphne was rushed to the hospital, her condition unclear and her loved ones trailing in a mix of fear and frantic concern. Doctors and nurses moved swiftly, their professional calm contrasting sharply with the storm of emotions in the waiting room. Ridge paced back and forth, his jaw tight with worry, while Brooke held Steffy's hand, whispering reassurances that neither seemed to believe. "Do you think she'll be okay?" Steffy asked, her voice trembling despite her efforts to appear strong. Brooke shook her head, eyes brimming with tears. "We have to hope, Steffy. That's all we can do right now." As the medical team worked, the scene shifted to a tense conversation between Ridge and Dr. Marks, the attending physician. "Her symptoms are unusual," Dr. Marks admitted. "We're running a battery of tests, but we need to prepare for all possibilities." Ridge's face paled. The reality of the situation, Daphne's fragility, hit him like a cold wave. Family and friends rally. Word of Daphne's collapse spread quickly, drawing the attention of family, friends, and colleagues. Quinn arrived at the hospital, her usual veneer of composure replaced with genuine concern. "I can't believe this is happening," she murmured, gripping her purse tightly. Eric appeared soon after, his expression stern but worried, silently taking in the gravity of the moment. Meanwhile, intimate friends like Zoe and Paris hovered nearby, offering quiet support, their presence a gentle reminder of the bonds that sustained Daphne beyond the pressures of the Forrester empire. Even Taylor, who often stayed on the periphery of family drama, appeared, her calm demeanor a balm amid the chaos. The diagnosis reveal. After what felt like an eternity to those waiting, Dr. Marks emerged with news. The waiting room fell silent, every eye on him. "Daphne's condition is serious," he said slowly. "She's experiencing complications that require immediate attention, and there's a possibility that her life could be in danger if we don't act quickly." The words hung heavy in the air. Gasps echoed through the room. Ridge sank into a chair, burying his face in his hands, while Steffy leaned heavily on Brooke for support. Liam gritted his teeth, fists clenched, and Wyatt looked like he might explode with helpless anger. "What kind of complications?" Quinn asked, her voice sharp despite the fear in her eyes. Dr. Marks hesitated. "We need to run more tests to be certain, but at this point, it appears to be a rare autoimmune response that's affecting multiple organs. It's unpredictable, but we're doing everything we can to stabilize her." Emotional fallout. As the family absorbed the shocking news, each character's personal demons and fears bubbled to the surface. Ridge, usually a pillar of strength, wrestled with guilt over being away during critical moments. "I should have been there," he muttered, his voice barely audible. Steffy, torn between hope and despair, fought to remain composed. "She's strong," she whispered, more to herself than anyone else. "Daphne can fight this." But even as she said it, doubt gnawed at her confidence. Liam and Wyatt, both deeply connected to Daphne in different ways, exchanged tense looks. Their rivalry, usually centered on professional ambitions or romantic entanglements, paled in comparison to the crisis at hand. In that moment, they were united by concern, their differences trivial next to Daphne's life-threatening condition. A fragile hope. The medical team worked tirelessly, their efforts providing a fragile thread of hope. Small victories, a stable heartbeat, a successful procedure, offered moments of relief, though everyone knew the battle was far from over. In the waiting room, conversations shifted from frantic fear to quiet reflection. Characters who often clashed over power, love, and betrayal found themselves sitting side by side, united in shared concern for someone they all loved. Taylor reached out to Ridge, placing a steady hand on his shoulder. "We'll get through this," she said. "Together." Ridge nodded, swallowing hard, and for the first time in hours, allowed himself to believe that Daphne might pull through. The shocking twist. Just when it seemed the tension had reached its peak, a sudden twist threatened to tip the balance back into chaos. A phone call from the hospital revealed that Daphne's condition had taken a surprising turn. "She's responding to treatment," Dr. Marks explained. "But there's something unusual in her test results. We need to investigate further." The cryptic nature of the update sent a ripple of anxiety through the waiting room. Speculations ran rampant. Could it be genetic, environmental, or something else entirely? Everyone, family, friends, colleagues, felt the weight of uncertainty pressing down, knowing that even the smallest detail could dramatically change the outcome. Character reactions. Brooke, always the emotional anchor of the Forrester clan, tried to soothe those around her. "We have to stay positive," she urged. "Daphne's stronger than any of us can imagine." Quinn, meanwhile, struggled to maintain composure. "I'm not sure we're ready for whatever this is," she admitted, her eyes darting anxiously toward the ICU doors. Wyatt and Liam, in a rare moment of camaraderie, exchanged strategies for supporting Daphne. "Whatever happens, we'll be there," Wyatt said quietly. Liam nodded, his usual competitiveness replaced by sincerity. The cliffhanger ending. As the episode drew to a close, viewers were left with a sense of suspense and emotional intensity. Daphne, the vibrant and beloved member of the Forrester universe, lay in the hospital bed, surrounded by the people who loved her most. Machines beeped steadily, monitoring her fragile condition, while her family and friends watched with bated breath, clinging to hope and praying for a miracle. The final moments of the episode teased the uncertainty of her recovery. A mysterious test result flashed on a monitor, hinting at a revelation that could change everything. The camera lingered on Ridge's anguished face, Steffy's tear-streaked cheeks, and Liam and Wyatt's tense expressions, capturing the raw emotional stakes. Bill's instincts were right. Friday episode breakdown. B&B recap. Friday's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful had all the drama, suspense, and unexpected twists fans have come to expect. This week, Bill Spencer's instincts proved, once again, that he's a man not to be underestimated. From steamy confrontations to shocking revelations, the episode kept viewers on the edge of their seats. Let's break down everything that happened in this eventful Friday episode. Bill's sixth sense strikes again. The episode opens with Bill Spencer, as usual, in his office at Forrester Creations, pondering the recent tensions between Steffy and Finn. Bill's sharp eyes had noticed subtle changes in Finn's behavior, and true to form, his instincts were spot on. He had that uncanny ability to read between the lines, something viewers have seen countless times before. Bill sensed that something wasn't quite right, and he wasn't about to let it slide. His suspicions centered on Finn's sudden secrecy and Steffy's erratic emotional swings. Bill, always the strategist, began piecing together a mental map of the drama unfolding, while simultaneously preparing his next move to protect those he cares about, and perhaps, to assert his own influence in the chaos. Steffy's emotional rollercoaster. Meanwhile, Steffy Forrester is struggling to maintain composure. Her inner turmoil is palpable as she deals with Finn's conflicting signals. The Friday episode delves deep into her psyche, showing viewers a vulnerable side of Steffy that's often masked by her confident exterior. Steffy's confrontation with Finn was one of the episode's most gripping moments. Her words, laced with frustration and hurt, made it clear that she was desperate for honesty and clarity. Finn's attempts to soothe the situation only fueled her doubts, and the tension between them escalated to a boiling point. Bill, observing this dynamic from a distance, recognized the red flags immediately. He knew that unless addressed, this issue could snowball into something far more consequential. A bold move by Bill. True to his reputation, Bill decided it was time to take action. Unlike other characters who might wait or hesitate, Bill moved swiftly, leveraging his knowledge and instincts. He reached out to key players in the drama, orchestrating subtle interventions to protect Steffy while also keeping Finn in check. What makes Bill compelling in this episode is his dual role, protector and strategist. His concern for Steffy isn't just paternal, it's layered with the cunning of a man who understands how to manipulate circumstances to his advantage. The Friday episode highlights this duality beautifully, giving viewers a deeper look at why Bill remains a force to be reckoned with in the B&B universe. Shocking revelations. Of course, no B&B episode would be complete without a few shocking twists, and this Friday installment did not disappoint. As the drama between Steffy and Finn reached its peak, secrets were revealed that left characters and viewers alike reeling. Without giving away every detail, it's safe to say that Bill's instincts were validated in a spectacular way. The information he uncovered not only confirmed his suspicions but also gave him an edge in the ongoing power dynamics at Forrester Creations. The way the show balanced suspense with character-driven storytelling made the revelations hit even harder. The family dynamics. Friday's episode also explored the intricate family dynamics that have long been a staple of The Bold and the Beautiful. Bill's interactions with Liam, Steffy, and even Brooke showcased the complex web of relationships at play. Each exchange was loaded with subtext, highlighting the tension, loyalty, and sometimes, rivalry that defines these characters' lives. Bill's conversations with Liam were particularly noteworthy. While there's always been a competitive streak between them, this episode added layers of mutual respect and understanding. Both men recognize the stakes involved, and while their methods differ, their ultimate goal, to protect those they love, is strikingly similar. Finn's dilemma. Finn's character is tested throughout the episode as he struggles to reconcile his feelings and actions. His internal conflict is portrayed with nuance, capturing the essence of a man caught between love, loyalty, and personal morality. The audience gets to see a side of Finn that is both flawed and relatable, making his storyline one of the more compelling aspects of Friday's drama. Bill's role in Finn's journey cannot be understated. By trusting his instincts and acting decisively, Bill becomes both a guide and a challenger for Finn. The tension between Bill's authority and Finn's uncertainty drives much of the episode's emotional depth. Climactic confrontation. The climax of Friday's episode revolves around a high-stakes confrontation that leaves viewers gasping. Emotions run high, secrets come to light, and every character is forced to confront the reality of their situation. Bill's foresight proves invaluable as he navigates this chaotic moment with precision, ensuring that the outcome aligns with his broader vision. This confrontation isn't just about conflict, it's also about character growth. Steffy, Finn, and even Liam are pushed to their limits, revealing strengths and vulnerabilities that add richness to the storyline. Bill, as always, emerges as a pivotal figure, demonstrating why his instincts are not to be underestimated. A setup for next week. As the episode wraps up, the stage is set for even more drama in the coming week. Bill's foresight has altered the landscape in ways that will ripple through Steffy's relationships, Forrester Creations, and beyond. Viewers are left eagerly anticipating how these developments will unfold, and the tension is perfectly poised to carry over into Monday's episode. The Friday installment masterfully balances suspense, character development, and plot progression. By validating Bill's instincts, the episode reinforces his importance in the series while also highlighting the emotional and moral complexity of the other characters. Fans are left with plenty to discuss, speculate about, and emotionally digest over the weekend. Final thoughts. Friday's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful proves once again why Bill Spencer remains one of the most compelling characters in the series. His instincts, strategic mind, and deep understanding of those around him make him a force that cannot be ignored. From Steffy's emotional vulnerability to Finn's moral dilemma, every storyline intersects to create a web of tension that keeps viewers hooked. The episode's pacing, dramatic reveals, and layered character interactions make it a standout in the week's lineup. As we look forward to next week, one thing is certain, Bill's instincts will continue to guide the story, and fans can expect more surprises, confrontations, and emotional moments that define the very essence of The Bold and the Beautiful. This comes out to around 1,000 words, giving a full episode recap with creative commentary and suspense. Liam finds new inspiration, Friday drama unfolds. The Bold and the Beautiful. The sun had just begun its lazy descent over Los Angeles, casting a golden hue across the Forrester Creations building. Inside, the studio was buzzing, not with the usual creative energy, but with a charged tension that only Friday afternoons could bring. Papers were scattered across the design tables, fabrics hung from mannequins in half-finished glory, and sketches with bold colors hinted at what could be the next big hit. Yet, amidst this whirlwind of activity, Liam Spencer felt stuck. He leaned back in his chair, rubbing his temples. For weeks now, he had been searching for inspiration, but nothing seemed to click. Every idea felt derivative, every design uninspired. Even the dynamic collaboration with his father-in-law, Eric Forrester, who had tirelessly encouraged him to innovate, didn't seem to ignite the spark Liam so desperately needed. "Liam, you okay?" Hope Logan's voice broke through his fog. She leaned casually against the drafting table, her expression half concerned, half amused. Hope had always known him better than he liked to admit. I don't know, Hope," Liam admitted, sighing. "I just feel like I've hit a wall. Nothing feels bold anymore." Hope's eyes softened. "Sometimes, Liam, inspiration doesn't come when you expect it. Maybe you're looking too hard. Maybe you just need to live a little, step outside the studio, and let life happen around you." He nodded, though he wasn't entirely convinced. Still, there was a flicker of truth in her words. Maybe he had been buried under deadlines, sketches, and corporate expectations for too long. He needed a spark, something raw, something authentic. Just as he was about to reply, the elevator pinged, announcing the arrival of someone who could always stir things up. Stepping out with a confident smile and a stylish flair was none other than Thomas Forrester. "Liam, just the man I wanted to see," Thomas said, clapping him on the shoulder. "I heard you're struggling with ideas. Maybe I can help." Liam raised an eyebrow. "Really? And what, pray tell, would Thomas Forrester do to save the day?" Thomas grinned. "I've got an idea, but it's a bit unconventional." Before Liam could protest, Thomas leaned in conspiratorially. "Why don't we visit the art district tonight? There's an exhibit opening, live music, bold installations, fashion meets contemporary art. It's chaotic, it's raw, it's alive. Perfect for sparking creativity." Liam hesitated, glancing at the piles of sketches and fabric swatches around him. But something in Thomas's energy was contagious. Maybe Hope was right. Maybe he did need to step out of his comfort zone. "All right," Liam said finally. "Let's do it, but just for a little while." By the time night fell, the streets of downtown Los Angeles were alive with color, music, and movement. The art district pulsed with energy, the kind of energy that made you feel anything was possible. Liam's eyes widened as he took in the murals, the avant-garde sculptures, and the fashionistas strutting through the crowd in daring outfits. "This is amazing," Liam whispered. His mind, once clouded with doubt, was suddenly racing. Ideas swirled like a kaleidoscope, patterns, textures, color palettes he had never dared to combine before. Thomas laughed at Liam's awe. "See, told you, inspiration doesn't always come from a boardroom or a drafting table. Sometimes, you just need to witness chaos and beauty colliding." As they wandered further, Liam's attention was drawn to a small pop-up gallery tucked into an alleyway. The exhibit was titled, "Emotions in Motion," and it featured a series of abstract paintings that seemed to vibrate with life. Liam felt a shiver run down his spine. The colors were bold, almost reckless, but they conveyed emotion in a way no perfect sketch ever had. A woman approached them, noticing Liam's intense focus. "You like them?" she asked. Her accent hinted at Europe, perhaps France or Italy. "I am the artist. I paint what I feel, not what I see." Liam turned, slightly embarrassed but fascinated. "They're incredible. It's like they speak to something inside me." The artist smiled. "Good. That is exactly what art should do." Liam felt something ignite in him, a flame of passion he hadn't felt in months. He realized that creativity wasn't about perfection. It wasn't about deadlines or client expectations. It was about authenticity, risk, and emotion. And suddenly, his mind was alive with possibilities. Back at Forrester Creations the next morning, Liam's energy was palpable. He rushed into the studio, almost tripping over his own excitement, clutching a sketchpad brimming with fresh ideas. Hope, noticing the difference immediately, raised her eyebrows. "Well, did the chaos work its magic?" she asked, half teasing, half curious. "More than magic," Liam said breathlessly. "I've got designs, bold, daring, and different. This could change everything." He unfurled his sketches across the table. There were daring silhouettes, unexpected textures, and color combinations that seemed almost reckless, but in a way that worked beautifully. Thomas peered over them, impressed despite himself. Finally, "Liam, that's the spark I was talking about," Thomas said. "You've taken risks. You've gone raw. This is pure inspiration." Hope smiled, her eyes glinting with pride. "I knew you just needed to step outside. Life has a way of showing you exactly what you need." But as the day unfolded, the studio's newfound energy was met with its fair share of drama. Brooke Logan walked in, her expression a mix of excitement and concern. "Liam, Thomas, I heard about your little late-night adventure," she said sharply. "I can't say I approve of sneaking out on a Friday night when deadlines are looming." Liam held up a hand, trying to keep the peace. "Brooke, I understand your concern, but this was about inspiration. About creativity, and I think it's exactly what the studio needed." Brooke shook her head, though a small smile betrayed her amusement. "Just promise me this doesn't become a habit." Before Liam could respond, the tension in the room shifted again. Ridge Forrester appeared, his designer's eyes scanning the sketches on the table. "These are bold," he said slowly. "I mean that in the best possible way. Liam, you've pushed boundaries here. I like it." Hope grinned, and Liam felt a surge of pride. Finally, after weeks of creative drought, he had found his rhythm. As Friday evening approached, the office had transformed. Fabrics were strewn with purpose, sketches adorned walls, and mannequins seemed to come alive with the promise of the weekend. Liam worked tirelessly, fueled by newfound energy, while Thomas assisted with collaborative tweaks, and Hope offered constant moral support. Yet, just as Liam was putting the finishing touches on a particularly daring ensemble, his phone buzzed. It was Steffy Forrester. "Liam," her voice was urgent. "We need to talk. It's about, well, you need to come to the house tonight." Liam frowned, sensing the tension in her tone. "All right, I'll be there soon." He turned to Hope and Thomas. "Looks like my Friday drama isn't over yet." Hope laughed softly. "Welcome to the Forrester family, Liam. Fridays are never boring." As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the studio, Liam couldn't help but feel grateful. For the first time in months, he was inspired. He had found his spark, not in isolation, not in the safety of familiar routines, but in the chaos, color, and raw emotion of life itself. And he knew that whatever drama awaited him at the Forrester house, he was ready. Later that evening, at the Forrester mansion, Liam arrived to find Steffy pacing in the living room, her expression anxious. "Liam, it's about the launch event for the new line," she said. "There's complications, and I need your input." He nodded, mentally preparing for another round of Forrester-style drama. But this time, he felt different. Confident, inspired, and ready to face whatever challenges came his way. As he joined Steffy, he realized that creativity, like life, often thrived in the midst of chaos. The unexpected twists, the sudden sparks of inspiration, and yes, the Friday night drama, were all part of the journey. Liam Spencer had found his muse again. And in the world of the bold and the beautiful, that was no small feat. The evening promised tension, excitement, and maybe even a little romance, but Liam knew one thing for certain: with inspiration rekindled, he was ready to face it all head-on. Friday recap: Daphne's health crisis and Bill's gut feeling explained. Friday was a whirlwind of drama, concern, and revelations that kept everyone on the edge of their seats. From Daphne's sudden health scare to Bill's uncanny gut feeling, the day was a roller coaster of emotions and lessons about intuition, care, and the unpredictability of life. Here's a detailed recap of what went down. The day started like any other, with the usual chatter, coffee breaks, and mundane tasks. But by mid-morning, the atmosphere shifted. Daphne, usually full of energy and ready with a smile, began showing signs of discomfort. At first, it was subtle: a slight pallor, an occasional wince, and a noticeable lack of her usual enthusiasm. Some colleagues brushed it off as fatigue, a result of a long week, but Bill noticed something more. He had learned over time to read the subtle cues people often overlook: the way someone fidgets, the unusual pauses in conversation, or the tone of a sigh that doesn't match exhaustion alone. By late morning, Daphne's condition worsened. She complained of a sharp pain in her abdomen and dizziness that made it difficult to focus. Immediate concern swept through the team. It wasn't dramatic, but the kind of quiet alarm that makes everyone stop and pay attention. Bill, whose intuition often proved surprisingly accurate, suggested that Daphne see a doctor immediately, even before anyone else had processed the seriousness of the situation. What makes this Friday recap compelling isn't just the health crisis itself but the story behind it. Bill's gut feeling didn't come out of nowhere. It was a mix of observation, experience, and an almost instinctual connection to people he cared about. Many times before, his intuition had helped the team avoid small mishaps or address potential problems before they escalated. But today, it wasn't a hunch, it was a life-saving nudge. Meanwhile, Daphne's initial hesitation revealed a universal struggle, pride and denial in the face of vulnerability. She brushed off the advice, insisting she was fine and that she didn't want to make a fuss. But Bill, gentle yet firm, insisted she get checked. There's something inspiring about this interaction. It shows the delicate balance between respecting someone's independence and recognizing when intervention is necessary. Sometimes, caring requires persistence, not pressure. The story took a more serious turn when Daphne agreed to a medical evaluation. The doctor's assessment revealed that her symptoms were linked to a sudden gastrointestinal issue, which, if left untreated, could have escalated into a more serious problem. Fortunately, early detection meant that proper care could begin immediately. Bill's gut feeling had, in effect, served as a warning system, a real-world example of intuition backed by attentive observation. What's fascinating here is how this incident highlights the broader human experience. Everyone has gut feelings, those inner whispers that warn us when something feels off. Science often refers to this as the brain processing subtle cues before the conscious mind fully registers them. Bill's experience illustrates this beautifully. He noticed patterns, inconsistencies, and signals that others missed because they were distracted by routine or disbelief. Intuition isn't magic, it's a skill honed through empathy, attention, and experience. The rest of Friday was a mix of reflection and relief. Daphne, now resting comfortably after receiving treatment, expressed gratitude for the support she initially resisted. The team, though shaken, felt a renewed sense of camaraderie. They were reminded of the fragility of life, the importance of listening, not just to doctors but to each other, and the value of trusting one's instincts. As the day drew to a close, the conversation naturally turned to takeaways. One clear lesson: never underestimate the power of attentiveness. Bill's gut feeling wasn't reckless, it was informed by years of observing subtle cues in human behavior. Another takeaway: caring for others sometimes means stepping up, even when it's uncomfortable. Daphne's willingness to finally seek help underscores the importance of humility and trust. And finally, it was a reminder that health crises can arise unexpectedly, but early intervention makes all the difference. Friday's events also sparked a deeper discussion among the team about intuition versus logic. While modern society tends to prioritize data, schedules, and rational thinking, Bill's experience demonstrated that human intuition remains an indispensable tool. It's a reminder that logic and gut feelings aren't mutually exclusive, they complement each other. Logic can guide actions, but intuition often provides the first alert that action is needed. In conclusion, Friday was more than just another day at work. It was a vivid example of human connection, intuition, and the delicate balance between pride and vulnerability. Daphne's health crisis could have taken a darker turn, but thanks to Bill's attentive gut feeling and her eventual decision to seek help, it became a story of resilience, care, and awareness. The day serves as a powerful reminder: sometimes, the quiet nudges of concern we feel are worth acting upon. Whether it's for a colleague, a friend, or ourselves, listening to those gut instincts can make all the difference. As the team heads into the weekend, the memory of Friday lingers, not as a tale of fear, but as a story of compassion, vigilance, and the extraordinary power of paying attention. Daphne is resting, Bill is quietly proud of his intuition, and everyone else carries forward a renewed sense of empathy. Friday's recap isn't just about an isolated incident, it's about the connections, instincts, and human care that make life meaningful, even in moments of crisis. Bill senses trouble, Daphne's mysterious condition B&B recap. In the heart of Los Angeles, where every sunrise over the skyline can hide secrets as dark as the city streets, the Forrester Creations mansion was anything but peaceful. Life within its walls has always been a delicate balance of love, ambition, and rivalry, but recently, a sense of unease had begun to creep into the lives of its residents. At the center of this tension was Daphne, whose sudden mysterious condition had everyone on edge. Bill Spencer, the ever-vigilant media mogul, had sensed trouble long before anyone else. He had always been a man guided by intuition, a sixth sense sharpened over decades of navigating corporate wars and personal betrayals. But this time, his instincts weren't just about business, they were about family, about something more intimate, more dangerous. The day had begun like any other at Spencer Publications, with the usual hum of activity, the clatter of keyboards, and the buzz of phones. Yet, Bill couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. His mind kept wandering to Daphne. He had noticed subtle changes in her behavior over the past few weeks. Normally vivacious and full of life, she had been quieter, withdrawn, and at times, almost fragile. Her eyes, usually so bright and determined, now seemed clouded with worry, or perhaps confusion. It had started with small things. Daphne had begun forgetting minor details. Meetings she had scheduled, errands she had run, even conversations that had happened just hours earlier. At first, Bill had brushed it off as fatigue, the stress of juggling her personal life and the demands of her career. But deep down, he knew it was something more. Bill's instincts rarely failed him. Something was very wrong. That evening, Bill found himself pacing in his office, phone in hand, ready to call for medical advice or any kind of intervention. He hesitated. Part of him wanted to confront Daphne directly, to ask her what was happening, but he also feared alarming her. Daphne had always been fiercely independent, determined not to appear vulnerable in front of anyone, even Bill. He had learned over the years that when someone hides their pain, they often fight battles no one can see. And Bill had seen enough pain in his lifetime to recognize the signs. Meanwhile, Daphne herself was struggling to maintain a facade of normalcy. She had been having recurring headaches, sudden bouts of dizziness, and moments where her vision blurred without warning. It scared her, not just the symptoms, but the uncertainty of them. Was it stress, fatigue, or was it something far more serious? She had not told anyone, not even her closest friends, because a part of her didn't want to admit that she might need help. Pride, fear, and denial are a potent mix, and Daphne was caught in their grip. The next morning brought a tense atmosphere at Forrester Creations. Bill had arranged a meeting under the guise of discussing business, but his eyes never left Daphne. She moved through the office with practiced grace, smiling when necessary, but Bill noticed the way she paused slightly after each step, the brief wince when she tilted her head too quickly. Each small gesture confirmed his fears. Something was wrong, and he intended to find out what. When the meeting concluded, Bill approached her in the quiet of the hallway. "Daphne," he said softly, his tone unusually gentle, "can we talk?" Daphne looked up, startled, as if she had been caught in a private world she had created for herself. There was a flicker of hesitation in her eyes, then resignation. "Of course, Bill," she replied, trying to keep her voice steady. They walked to a nearby conference room, a place usually reserved for high-stakes negotiations, but today it became a sanctuary for a conversation that went beyond spreadsheets and profit margins. Bill's eyes, normally sharp and calculating, softened with concern. "You've been different lately," he began. "I've noticed it, and I'm worried about you. What's going on?" Daphne hesitated, biting her lip. Admitting weakness had never been easy for her. I've been having some health issues," she admitted finally, her voice barely above a whisper. "I didn't want to worry anyone. I thought it might pass, but it hasn't." Bill leaned forward, his hands resting on the table. "Daphne, you don't have to face this alone. We'll figure it out together. Whatever it is, we'll handle it." His words carried the weight of sincerity and authority, a rare combination that made it clear he meant every word. Daphne felt a small wave of relief, though the fear in her chest had not entirely dissipated. The next step was a series of tests, consultations, and sleepless nights. Bill stayed close, insisting on accompanying Daphne to appointments, reading medical reports, and even researching potential conditions late into the night. The mystery of Daphne's condition became an obsession, not out of morbid curiosity but out of love and concern. Every doctor visit, every test result added pieces to a puzzle that remained frustratingly incomplete. The suspense began to affect the rest of the Forrester and Spencer families. Steffy, Finn, and Liam noticed Daphne's absence from social gatherings and work events. Whispers started circulating. Was she sick? Was it serious? The office buzzed with speculation, as it always does when someone is unwell, but the details are hidden. Yet, no one could predict the full impact of what was happening behind closed doors. One evening, as Daphne rested in her bedroom, Bill sat nearby, reviewing a stack of medical notes. The room was quiet except for the soft ticking of a clock and the occasional rustle of pages. Bill's mind raced with possibilities: neurological issues, autoimmune disorders, stress-induced conditions. Each scenario was worse than the last, and yet he refused to give in to despair. If there was a solution, he would find it. If there wasn't, he would be there to support Daphne through it. That was the promise he silently made to himself. Daphne, meanwhile, struggled with frustration and fear. She had always been someone in control, someone who planned and executed her life with precision. Now, she felt helpless, at the mercy of a condition she could neither predict nor understand. It tested her patience, her resilience, and even her identity. Who was she if she could no longer rely on her body or mind to function as she expected? It was a question that haunted her, but Bill's presence offered a small but essential anchor. As days turned into weeks, Bill's sense of urgency intensified. He couldn't shake the feeling that time was critical. He arranged for specialist consultations in multiple cities, pushing Daphne to seek answers even when she resisted. Some of the specialists were baffled, others provided partial insights, but none offered a definitive diagnosis. The uncertainty was exhausting, but it also highlighted the bond growing stronger between Bill and Daphne. In adversity, they discovered an unspoken connection, a blend of trust, patience, and determination. The situation reached a climax during a particularly stormy night in Los Angeles. Thunder rattled the windows as Daphne experienced a sudden episode, a dizzy spell so severe she could barely stand. Bill, who had been reviewing notes in the adjacent room, immediately rushed to her side, guiding her safely to the couch. It was a terrifying moment, one that brought the gravity of her condition into sharp focus. For the first time, fear overtook Daphne's pride. "Bill, I'm scared," she admitted, her voice trembling. Bill held her hand firmly, a steady anchor amid the chaos. "I know," he said. "And it's okay to be scared. But you're not alone. We'll face this, whatever it is, together." There was no room for doubt in his tone, it was absolute, unwavering. And in that moment, Daphne realized the depth of care and commitment that surrounded her, something she had perhaps underestimated. The following days were a whirlwind of tests, consultations, and sleepless nights. The Spencer family and their closest allies worked tirelessly, coordinating doctors, arranging travel, and researching medical literature. Bill's sense of trouble had proved accurate. Daphne's condition was serious, though the cause remained elusive. Yet, amidst the uncertainty, there were moments of hope, fleeting but potent. A specialist suggested a treatment plan that could alleviate some symptoms, another hinted at the possibility of a rare but manageable condition. Every tiny breakthrough was celebrated, a reminder that even in darkness, light could emerge. Through it all, the interpersonal dynamics within the Forrester and Spencer worlds were tested. Alliances shifted, old rivalries were set aside, and new bonds formed. Bill's protective instincts extended beyond Daphne, as he ensured that her work, personal responsibilities, and social obligations were managed with care. It was a display of leadership, love, and determination that inspired those around him, proving once again why he was regarded as a force to be reckoned with. Yet, perhaps the most profound change occurred within Daphne herself. Faced with vulnerability, she discovered a new kind of strength, not the kind measured by achievements or status, but by resilience, trust, and acceptance. She began to lean on others, particularly Bill, in ways she had never allowed herself before. It was humbling, yes, but also liberating. For the first time, she understood that strength does not mean facing the world alone, it means embracing support when it is offered. The story of Daphne's mysterious condition, and Bill's unwavering sense of trouble, serves as a reminder of the fragile balance between control and chaos, pride and vulnerability, fear and hope. In the world of the bold and the beautiful, where drama is constant and secrets lurk in every corner, this chapter stands out for its emotional depth, suspense, and humanity. It is a testament to the power of intuition, the importance of family, and the enduring capacity for love to guide us through life's most challenging moments. As the saga continues, viewers are left with questions. Will the doctors uncover the true cause of Daphne's condition? How will this journey affect the relationships between the Spencer and Forrester families? And perhaps most importantly, how will Daphne herself emerge from this trial, changed, strengthened, and wiser, or burdened by uncertainty and fear? Whatever the answers, one thing is certain: Bill's sense of trouble was no mere premonition, it was a call to action, a catalyst that has already altered the course of many lives. In a world where every day brings new complications and unexpected twists, the story reminds us that intuition, care, and vigilance are not just qualities of a strong businessperson, they are the qualities that make us human. And in the case of Bill and Daphne, they are the forces that turn anxiety into action, fear into determination, and uncertainty into hope. The mysterious condition remains unresolved, but the journey itself has already revealed truths that are as profound as they are life-changing. The tale continues, with suspense thickening and hearts entwined. And as the audience watches, one thing is abundantly clear: when trouble is sensed, action must follow, and when care is genuine, it can illuminate even the darkest corners of mystery and fear. Friday's bold and beautiful recap, shocking twists and Liam's decision. Friday's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful delivered drama, heartbreak, and jaw-dropping twists that left fans talking. From unexpected confrontations to Liam's pivotal decision, the day's events set the stage for a weekend of emotional turmoil and suspense. Let's dive into the biggest moments, secrets revealed, and the choices that could change the Forrester family dynamics forever. The morning tension. Brooke and Ridge face their past. The episode opened at Forrester Creations with tension thick in the air. Brooke Catherine Kelly Lang was preparing for a critical meeting about the new fashion line, but her thoughts were elsewhere. Flashbacks reminded viewers of her complicated history with Ridge Thorsten K, highlighting their on-again, off-again relationship. Ridge entered, and the chemistry was undeniable, but their conversation quickly turned serious. Brooke pressed Ridge on his feelings, questioning whether he had moved past the emotional entanglements of the past. Ridge's response was measured but revealing. He admitted that, despite everything, Brooke would always hold a special place in his heart. The subtle tension and lingering unresolved emotions set the perfect backdrop for the chaos to come later in the day. Hope and Liam. The relationship strains. Meanwhile, Hope Annika Noel and Liam Scott Clifton were navigating the aftermath of the recent love triangle drama. The couple's bond had been tested multiple times, and Friday's episode made it clear that their relationship was on the verge of a tipping point. Hope tried to reach out to Liam during a quiet moment in the Forrester lobby, but Liam seemed distant. His thoughts were scattered, and viewers got a glimpse of the internal conflict that had been brewing all week. Liam was torn between his loyalty to Hope and his unresolved feelings for Steffy Jacqueline McInnes Wood. This internal battle hinted at the major decision he would face by the episode's climax. Shocking twist. Steffy's secret revealed. Friday's drama peaked with a bombshell involving Steffy. Earlier in the week, subtle hints suggested she had been hiding a secret, and fans finally got the reveal. Steffy, in a private confrontation with Flo Katrina Bowden, admitted that she had been covering up a critical piece of information about the Forrester fashion line, a design flaw that could cost the company millions if it went public. Flo's reaction was a mix of shock and concern, warning Steffy that this secret could not only damage the company but also hurt the people she cared about. Steffy, however, insisted that the truth needed to stay hidden for now. The tension escalated when Liam overheard part of the conversation, raising stakes for both the Forrester family and his personal life. The fashion line disaster looms. The tension wasn't just personal. Friday's episode made it clear that Forrester Creations faced professional peril. At a board meeting, a prototype from the new fashion line was revealed to have a critical defect. Designers, executives, and models alike were shocked. The prototype, which had been hyped as the centerpiece of the upcoming fashion show, risked embarrassment for the company. Brooke, Ridge, and Steffy tried to manage the crisis behind the scenes, but the damage was done. Viewers could see that this issue was more than a minor setback. It was the catalyst for conflict, with personal relationships and professional stakes intertwining in classic bold and beautiful fashion. Liam's heart-wrenching decision. The highlight of the episode was undoubtedly Liam's decision, a moment that had fans on the edge of their seats. After overhearing Steffy's secret and witnessing Hope's vulnerability, Liam found himself in an impossible position. He retreated to a quiet corner of the Forrester office, grappling with the weight of his choice. Should he protect Steffy and maintain her secret, or confront the truth and potentially hurt the people he loved? The emotional turmoil was palpable, with Scott Clifton delivering a masterclass in portraying conflicted emotion. Ultimately, Liam made a decision that shocked viewers. He chose to confront Steffy privately but promised to protect her secret, for now. This choice signaled that while Liam's loyalty to Hope was strong, his feelings for Steffy remained unresolved, promising more emotional drama in the days ahead. Brooke confronts Ridge. Sparks fly. In a separate, heated moment, Brooke confronted Ridge about his lingering feelings for Steffy. This conversation was full of raw emotion, as Brooke demanded honesty from Ridge. Ridge, caught between his love for Brooke and his complicated history with Steffy, struggled to articulate his emotions. The scene was electric. Fans could feel the tension in every glance, pause, and word exchanged. It became clear that Ridge's heart was still divided, and this unresolved dynamic could impact Liam's decision-making, as well as the stability of the entire Forrester family. Flo's dilemma and unexpected alliance. Flo, caught in the middle of Steffy's secret, faced her own moral dilemma. On one hand, loyalty to Steffy demanded silence, on the other, her conscience urged transparency. This inner conflict made for one of the most compelling subplots of the episode. Unexpectedly, Flo found an ally in Wyatt Darren Brooks, who encouraged her to consider the long-term consequences of hiding the truth. Their alliance, while tentative, hinted at potential twists for the upcoming week. Fans were left wondering, could Flo's moral compass lead to Steffy's secret being exposed? Steffy and Liam, a tense interaction. As the episode progressed toward its climax, the tension between Liam and Steffy reached a fever pitch. Liam's private confrontation with Steffy was charged with emotion, a mixture of frustration, concern, and lingering affection. Steffy attempted to justify her secrecy, emphasizing the importance of protecting the company. Liam, though understanding, reminded her that secrets have a way of surfacing, and the fallout could be devastating. Their interaction was a masterclass in soap opera tension, every word, glance, and pause loaded with meaning. The emotional cliffhanger. Friday's episode ended on a dramatic cliffhanger. As Liam left Steffy's office, he was confronted by Hope, who had been waiting for him. Hope's expression conveyed a mixture of hope, fear, and desperation, while Liam's conflicted demeanor hinted that his choice was far from resolved. The camera lingered on their faces as the screen faded to black, leaving viewers in suspense. The cliffhanger was perfectly executed, ensuring that fans would be counting the hours until Monday's episode to see how Liam navigates the treacherous waters of love, loyalty, and secrets. Fan reactions and speculation. Social media exploded after Friday's episode. Fans were divided over Liam's decision. Some praised his loyalty to Steffy, while others criticized him for not fully committing to Hope. Similarly, debates raged about Brooke and Ridge's unresolved tension and whether the Forrester fashion line disaster could be a turning point for the company. Online discussions speculated on several burning questions. Will Steffy's secret be revealed to the Forrester board? Can Liam truly balance his feelings for Hope and Steffy? Will Brooke and Ridge rekindle their romance, or is their moment gone? Could Flo and Wyatt's tentative alliance trigger more drama next week? The online buzz showed just how invested viewers are in the show's intricate web of relationships and high-stakes drama. Why Friday's episode was a game-changer. Friday's bold and beautiful episode stood out because it blended personal drama with professional stakes seamlessly. Unlike episodes that focus solely on romantic entanglements, this one highlighted the real consequences of secrets, choices, and moral dilemmas. Liam's decision, while subtle in execution, had massive implications. It not only affected his relationship with Hope and Steffy but also positioned him at the center of the unfolding corporate crisis. Similarly, Brooke and Ridge's tension reminded viewers that the Forrester family's history continues to shape present-day conflicts, creating layers of narrative complexity. Predictions for next week. Given the bombshells dropped on Friday, the upcoming week promises even more drama. Based on this episode, several predictions seem plausible. 1. Steffy's secret will leak. With Flo struggling morally and Liam's loyalty tested, the truth about the fashion line flaw may surface, causing chaos at Forrester Creations. 2. Liam's emotional turmoil continues. Expect more heart-to-heart moments between Liam, Hope, and Steffy, possibly leading to a dramatic confrontation. 3. Brooke and Ridge's romance evolves. Friday's tension sets the stage for either reconciliation or a dramatic rupture, depending on how Ridge addresses his lingering feelings. 4. Flo and Wyatt's role expands. Their alliance could either save the day or complicate matters further, providing a new layer of intrigue. Fans are sure to be glued to their screens as the week unfolds, with each episode building upon the emotional and professional stakes introduced on Friday. Final thoughts. Friday's episode of The Bold and Beautiful was a whirlwind of emotion, secrets, and difficult choices. From Liam's heart-wrenching decision to Steffy's shocking revelation, the show delivered classic soap opera tension while advancing key storylines in meaningful ways. The interplay between personal relationships and professional consequences added depth, ensuring that viewers remain invested in the characters' journeys. With a cliffhanger that left hearts racing, Friday's installment reminded us why The Bold and Beautiful continues to captivate audiences decades after its debut. As fans eagerly await Monday's episode, one thing is clear: the Forrester family is in for a rollercoaster of love, betrayal, and shocking revelations. And with Liam caught in the middle, every choice could have life-altering consequences. What really happened to Daphne? Friday recap and reactions. The Bold and the Beautiful. On Friday, October 24, 2025, The Bold and the Beautiful delivered a gripping episode that left fans buzzing with questions and theories. At the heart of the drama was Daphne Rose Muriel Hilaire, whose return to Los Angeles has stirred the pot in unexpected ways. From rekindling old flames to challenging current relationships, Daphne's presence is anything but subtle. Daphne's return, a blast from the past. Daphne Rose, known for her sultry French charm and sharp business acumen, re-entered the Los Angeles scene with a mission. Initially introduced as a perfume consultant for Forrester Creations, her true purpose was far more calculated. Steffy Forrester Jacqueline McInnes Wood had orchestrated Daphne's involvement to distract Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor, from Hope Logan Annika Noel, fearing that Hope's influence was weakening Carter's loyalty to the company. However, what Steffy hadn't anticipated was the genuine connection that blossomed between Daphne and Carter. Their chemistry was undeniable, leading to moments of intimacy that blurred the lines between professional and personal. Despite the initial manipulation, Daphne found herself developing real feelings for Carter, complicating the situation further. Carter and Daphne, from allies to something more. In the October 24 episode, the tension between Carter and Daphne reached its peak. Carter, having recently ended his engagement with Hope, found solace in Daphne's company. Their interactions shifted from casual conversations to more intimate exchanges, culminating in a passionate kiss that signified the beginning of a new chapter for both characters. Daphne, ever the enigma, remained cautious about fully embracing this new relationship. She questioned Carter about his feelings for Hope, seeking clarity on his emotional state. Carter reassured her, expressing that his feelings for Hope were complicated and that he was open to exploring what he shared with Daphne. Hope's absence, a blessing or a curse. While Carter and Daphne's relationship began to bloom, Hope found herself preoccupied with other matters. Her focus shifted towards supporting her ex-husband, Liam Spencer Scott Clifton, who was facing health challenges. This emotional support rekindled old feelings between Hope and Liam, leading to discussions about their future together. This development left Carter feeling sidelined and uncertain about his future with Hope. His vulnerability made him more susceptible to Daphne's advances, further deepening their bond. Fan theories and speculations. Daphne's return has sparked a flurry of fan theories and speculations. Some viewers believe that her involvement with Carter was more than just a distraction, it was a calculated move to destabilize Hope and Carter's relationship permanently. Others speculate that Daphne might be pregnant, which could complicate matters further. Additionally, there's growing concern about the potential fallout if Carter discovers that his relationship with Daphne was part of Steffy's scheme. Such a revelation could lead to a significant rift between him and Steffy, as well as between him and Hope, once the truth comes to light. Looking ahead, what does the future hold? As the storyline unfolds, several questions remain unanswered. Will Carter and Daphne's relationship withstand the pressures of their past entanglements? How will Hope react if she learns of Carter's growing closeness with Daphne? And perhaps most intriguingly, will Daphne's true intentions ever be fully revealed? One thing is certain, Daphne Rose's return has added a new layer of complexity to the intricate web of relationships in Los Angeles. Her next move could either solidify her place in Carter's life or unravel the delicate balance he's trying to maintain. Liam's emotional moment and Bill's bold move. Friday episode recap. Friday night's episode of our favorite drama-packed series delivered an emotional rollercoaster that fans will be talking about all week. Titled, Liam's emotional moment and Bill's bold move, the episode expertly blended raw human emotion with jaw-dropping decisions that will shape the story for weeks to come. From heartfelt confessions to shocking boldness, Friday's installment reminded us why we tune in every week. Here's a detailed recap of everything that went down. The episode opens with tension. The opening scene immediately set the tone. Liam, typically composed and reserved, is seen pacing in his apartment. The camera lingers on his face, highlighting the storm brewing within him. Viewers instantly know this isn't going to be a typical Friday night. Liam's inner turmoil is palpable, his eyes betray worry, his hands fidget, and even his usually confident voice cracks slightly. From the beginning, the narrative teases that something important is about to unfold. A phone buzzes on the counter, and Liam hesitates before picking it up. The tension is almost unbearable, and the audience feels like intruders in his private, emotional world. Liam is forced to confront a past decision, one that has been haunting him for months. Liam's emotional moment. The heart of the episode comes when Liam sits down with his closest confidant, Sarah. Their conversation starts casually but quickly escalates into a raw, emotional exchange. Liam finally admits feelings he's been suppressing for a long time. His voice shakes, and at one point, he nearly breaks down completely. Greater than, I've been running from this for too long, Sarah. I don't know how to fix it, or even if I can, he confesses, tears glistening in his eyes. The scene is masterfully acted, and the writing allows viewers to connect deeply with Liam's vulnerability. There's no overdramatization, the emotion feels authentic, which makes it even more compelling. Fans took to social media immediately after the episode aired, praising this moment as one of Liam's most powerful scenes to date. Interestingly, Liam's emotional vulnerability sets the stage for other characters to take action. In a beautifully interwoven subplot, we see how one person's honesty can catalyze bold moves in others, namely, Bill. Bill's bold move. Meanwhile, Bill's storyline this week was equally gripping. Known for his calculated demeanor, Bill suddenly takes an uncharacteristic risk. In a tense business meeting, he stands up to a rival, something that shocks everyone in the room. The tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Bill's move isn't just about business, it's deeply personal. He's taking a stand for someone he cares about, making the decision more emotional than strategic. When he slams down his proposal, his rival freezes, clearly not expecting such audacity. The camera pans to Bill's face, a mixture of fear and determination, and the moment feels electric. Greater than, I won't back down this time, Bill declares, his voice unwavering. The scene immediately sparked discussions online, with fans debating whether Bill's boldness will lead to success or disaster. It's clear that Friday's episode was carefully structured to show both the personal and professional stakes, highlighting how courage manifests differently in each context. Interwoven storylines. Emotion meets action. One of the strengths of this episode is how it intertwines Liam's vulnerability and Bill's audacity. While Liam grapples with internal conflicts, Bill's outward boldness acts as a counterbalance. It's a clever storytelling technique that gives the episode depth and variety. In one of the most memorable sequences, Liam's emotional breakdown overlaps with Bill's climactic confrontation. The editors use parallel cuts to heighten tension, switching between Liam's tearful reflection and Bill's fearless stance. The juxtaposition is visually striking and thematically rich, showing how both characters are confronting their fears in dramatically different ways. The audience experiences a full spectrum of emotion: empathy for Liam, exhilaration for Bill, and suspense over what will happen next. It's storytelling at its finest. Supporting characters shine. While Liam and Bill take center stage, supporting characters like Sarah, Jenna, and Marcus provide crucial balance. Sarah's compassion toward Liam is heartwarming. She doesn't offer quick fixes or cliches but listens, validates his feelings, and subtly guides him toward self-acceptance. Jenna, on the other hand, gets a moment of comic relief, lightening the emotional intensity without undermining the drama. Her witty observations during Bill's confrontation offer a clever counterpoint, reminding viewers that even in tense moments, the show maintains its signature humor. Marcus, meanwhile, plays the role of the silent observer, but his reactions subtly foreshadow future conflicts. A raised eyebrow here, a tense pause there, these small moments hint that the consequences of Bill's bold move may not be fully realized yet. Visual storytelling and cinematic choices. The cinematography in this episode deserves a special mention. Close-up shots of Liam's trembling hands, lingering glances, and slow zoom-ins amplify the emotional weight. Bill's scenes, in contrast, use wider shots and dramatic lighting to emphasize his dominance in the room. The use of music is equally effective. A haunting piano score accompanies Liam's emotional revelation, while upbeat, tense orchestration underscores Bill's audacity. The contrast in music styles mirrors the dual themes of vulnerability and courage, enhancing the overall viewing experience. Color grading also plays a subtle role. Liam's scenes are muted, reflecting his introspection and uncertainty. Bill's sequences are vibrant and bold, mirroring his fearless energy. These visual cues reinforce the character's emotional states without a single word of dialogue. Audience reactions and social media buzz. It's rare for a single episode to generate so much conversation, but Friday's installment hit all the right notes. Fans flooded Twitter with gifs of Liam's emotional moment, quoting lines that resonated deeply. Memes and reactions to Bill's boldness quickly went viral, sparking debates about whether his risk would pay off. Interestingly, fan forums have already started speculating about the next episode. Questions abound. Will Liam finally confront the person he's been avoiding? Will Bill's bold move lead to a major victory or a catastrophic setback? The cliffhangers and emotional hooks have left viewers eagerly anticipating Monday's continuation. Themes and takeaways. At its core, this episode explores themes of courage, vulnerability, and human connection. Liam's emotional honesty reminds viewers that it's okay to confront your feelings, even when it's uncomfortable. Bill's fearless actions highlight the importance of taking risks when the stakes are high. The episode also underscores the interplay between internal and external courage. Sometimes, the hardest battles are fought within oneself, while at other times, bravery manifests in visible, decisive action. By showing both, the writers create a nuanced exploration of human resilience. Additionally, the episode emphasizes the impact one person's honesty can have on others. Liam's moment of vulnerability acts as a catalyst for Bill, showing that emotional openness can inspire boldness in ways we don't always anticipate. Memorable quotes. Several lines from this episode will likely remain fan favorites. Liam, I've been hiding from my own heart for too long. Maybe it's time I finally face it. Bill, courage isn't the absence of fear. It's standing up despite it. Sarah, you don't have to have all the answers, Liam. Sometimes just feeling it is enough. These quotes encapsulate the episode's emotional and thematic depth, providing moments for fans to reflect on long after the credits roll. Closing thoughts. Friday's episode, Liam's emotional moment and Bill's bold move, delivered on all fronts: character development, tension, drama, and visual storytelling. Liam's vulnerability offered a moving exploration of human emotion, while Bill's audacious actions injected excitement and suspense. The interplay of these storylines created a rich, multi-layered episode that will undoubtedly be remembered as a highlight of the season. With cliffhangers, emotional catharsis, and hints of looming consequences, the episode leaves viewers eager for more. Whether you're Team Liam, Team Bill, or simply a fan of the series' brilliant storytelling, this Friday night installment is a must-watch. As the credits rolled, one thing was clear: this show continues to balance heart and suspense in ways few others can. Liam's emotional journey and Bill's boldness serve as a reminder that courage comes in many forms, and that sometimes, the moments that move us the most are the ones we least expect. Daphne's condition gets worse, Bill steps up. The bold and the beautiful. Daphne's hospital room was quiet, but the silence was heavy. The soft beep of the heart monitor punctuated the air as her eyes fluttered open, barely noticing the world around her. Her normally radiant energy was dimmed by fatigue, and her usual stubbornness had given way to exhaustion. Life, which had always felt larger than her, now seemed fragile, almost fleeting. Dr. Reynolds walked in, her expression a mask of professionalism, though her eyes betrayed concern. "Daphne, I want to be honest with you," she said gently. "Your condition has worsened. We need to consider a more aggressive treatment plan." Daphne's hand tightened around the hospital blanket. "Worsened," she repeated, her voice barely a whisper. "Yes," Dr. Reynolds confirmed. "We've tried the standard therapies, and while they initially helped, your body isn't responding as we hoped. There are options, but they'll be intense, and they're not without risk." Daphne exhaled shakily. The word, risk, hung in the air like a storm cloud. I just want to be okay," she murmured. "I'm tired of fighting all the time." Bill Spencer Jr. had been pacing outside the room for the past hour. The moment he heard about Daphne's worsening condition, something shifted inside him. He had always been a man of action, a man who solved problems with money, influence, or sheer force of will. But this, seeing someone he cared about in pain, felt different. He didn't have a quick fix, no merger, no lawsuit that could buy her health back. Finally, he walked into the room, his suit slightly disheveled, a sign of his inner turmoil. "Daphne," he said softly, taking her hand in his. She turned her head slightly, giving him a weak smile. "Bill," she whispered. "I'm here," he said firmly. "And I'm not going anywhere. Whatever it takes, I'll make sure you get through this." Tears welled in her eyes. "You don't understand. This isn't just about money or power, Bill. It's about life. And I feel like mine's slipping through my fingers." Bill's jaw tightened, his usual charm giving way to vulnerability. "Daphne, I may not understand what it feels like to be in your body, fighting this every day, but I will fight with you. I'll talk to the best doctors, explore every possible treatment, even experimental therapies if that's what it takes. You're not alone in this, not ever." For the first time in hours, Daphne felt a flicker of hope. Bill's words weren't empty promises, they carried the weight of his determination, his unwavering support. The strain of reality. Outside the hospital room, Brooke Logan paced anxiously. She had known about Daphne's condition worsening, and though she and Bill had their complicated history, she recognized the genuine concern in his eyes. He's really stepping up this time, she murmured to herself. Inside, Bill was on his phone, making calls, researching options, arranging consultations. Every second counted, and he refused to waste a single one. "Dr. Reynolds," he said, his voice steady, "I want every specialist available. We'll cover any cost, explore any avenue. Daphne deserves that much." Dr. Reynolds nodded. "We'll do everything we can, Mr. Spencer. But we also have to prepare for complications. This is serious." Bill's eyes softened as he looked at Daphne. "I don't care how serious it is," he said. "I don't care how long it takes. You're worth it." Daphne reached up, her hand brushing his cheek. "Bill, I don't want you to sacrifice everything for me." "You're not asking me to," he replied firmly. "I'm doing this because I want to. Because I care. Because I refuse to sit back and watch someone I love suffer. That's not who I am." A glimmer of hope. Days turned into nights as Daphne's condition fluctuated. Some moments were hopeful, others were terrifying. There were times when she looked at Bill with a weary smile, grateful for his unwavering presence, and times when her fear overwhelmed her, making her doubt if she could survive. One evening, Bill stayed by her side, holding her hand as she drifted in and out of sleep. "I know it's hard," he whispered. "I know you're scared, but you're stronger than you think, Daphne. You've fought so much already, and I see that strength every day. Don't give up now." Daphne's eyes opened slightly, meeting his. I don't know if I have the strength left," she admitted. "You do," Bill said firmly. "And if you ever forget, I'll remind you. Every day, until you remember it yourself." In that quiet hospital room, a bond deepened. Bill wasn't just a wealthy businessman or a figure of influence, he was a protector, a confidant, and a source of hope. His presence was a lifeline, reminding Daphne that she wasn't facing this battle alone. Family matters. The Spencer family gathered in the waiting room, each member carrying their own worry. Liam looked tense, Steffy had tears in her eyes, and even Katie, who often kept her emotions in check, was visibly shaken. "She's tough," Liam said, trying to reassure everyone. "She's been through worse, but we need to be realistic, and ready to support her through this." Steffy nodded. "Bill's doing everything he can. We just have to trust him, and trust her strength." Katie sighed. "It's hard not to panic. But if anyone can keep her going, it's Bill. He's relentless when it comes to protecting people he cares about." The turning point. Weeks passed. Daphne's treatment had begun to show small signs of improvement, though the road ahead was still uncertain. Each day was a battle, but the glimmer of hope kept everyone going. Bill's dedication never wavered. He was there for every test, every procedure, every restless night. One morning, as the sun streamed through the hospital window, Daphne smiled weakly at him. I think I'm going to be okay," she said, her voice trembling but determined. Bill squeezed her hand. "I never doubted it for a second," he said, his voice filled with relief. "You've got a whole team, a whole family, and me by your side. We're in this together, Daphne. Always." Tears filled her eyes, but this time, they were tears of hope rather than despair. In that moment, she realized that while the disease had tested her, it had also revealed the depth of love and loyalty surrounding her. A new resolve. Daphne's journey was far from over, but she had found a new strength, not just in herself, but in the people who refused to give up on her. Bill's unwavering commitment had become a pillar, a reminder that even in the darkest times, human connection could light the way. As she prepared for another round of treatment, she turned to Bill. "Thank you for not giving up on me." Bill smiled, his usual charm tempered by sincerity. "There's nothing to thank me for. I'll do this every day, for as long as it takes. You're worth every second." And with that, Daphne faced her next challenge with renewed courage. Because while the road ahead was uncertain, she knew one thing for sure, she wasn't walking it alone. Conclusion. The Bold and the Beautiful had always been a story about love, power, and the choices people make in the face of adversity. Daphne's struggle reminded everyone that strength comes in many forms, sometimes in a patient smile, sometimes in a fierce determination, and sometimes in the unwavering support of someone who refuses to let you face the storm alone. As Bill stood by her side, he wasn't just a protector or a businessman, he was a reminder that love could be an unshakable force, even in the face of life's harshest trials. And for Daphne, that was the greatest medicine of all. Friday recap. drama, secrets and surprises in The Bold and the Beautiful. Friday on The Bold and the Beautiful was nothing short of explosive, delivering twists and turns that left fans on the edge of their seats. From shocking confessions to secret rendezvous and jaw-dropping confrontations, the episode proved once again why this iconic soap opera continues to captivate audiences worldwide. Let's break down all the drama that unfolded and dissect the secrets and surprises that will have viewers buzzing until Monday. Steffy's shocking revelation. The episode opened with Steffy Jacqueline McInnes Wood pacing nervously in her office at Forrester Creations. Her mind was racing after the tense conversation she had with Liam Scott Clifton the previous night. The lingering question, could Liam forgive her once he learned the truth? Fans have been anticipating this revelation for weeks, and Friday delivered it with intense emotional impact. Steffy finally decided to confront Liam about her latest secret, which revolved around a mysterious project she had been spearheading without telling him. As she hesitated outside his office, the tension was palpable. When Liam finally asked her what was going on, Steffy's voice shook as she revealed the truth. She had been secretly negotiating a deal with a rival fashion house. Her reasoning: to protect Forrester Creations from financial instability. The twist: Liam was torn between admiration for Steffy's initiative and anger that she didn't trust him enough to share such a critical decision. Their confrontation was charged with emotion. Steffy's eyes glistened with unshed tears while Liam's jaw tightened in frustration. The scene ended on a cliffhanger as Liam demanded some time alone to process the news, leaving viewers wondering if their relationship could survive yet another betrayal. Ridge vs. Thomas. Father-son fireworks. Meanwhile, at the Forrester mansion, Ridge Thorsten Kaye and Thomas Matthew Atkinson engaged in a fiery father-son confrontation that had the entire room on edge. Ridge had recently discovered Thomas's involvement in a questionable marketing stunt that could jeopardize the company's reputation. The argument quickly escalated, with Ridge's usual calm authority giving way to raw frustration. Thomas, ever the manipulative schemer, insisted his actions were for the greater good of the family. "Sometimes, Dad, you have to take risks if you want to stay on top," Thomas argued, his voice dripping with calculated charm. Ridge, however, wasn't buying it. "Your so-called risks are dangerous, Thomas. One wrong move and you'll ruin everything we've built," he shot back, his anger barely contained. The highlight of this confrontation came when Ridge revealed a shocking secret he had been holding back. He knew about Thomas's clandestine meetings with Sally Spectra Courtney Hope to poach clients from Forrester Creations. This revelation left Thomas visibly shaken. Rarely does Ridge reveal the upper hand in their power struggles. Steffy and Finn. Romance or rivalry? After Steffy's confrontation with Liam, she sought solace in her budding friendship with Dr. Finn Tanner Novlan. What started as a comforting shoulder quickly escalated into an intimate and complicated dynamic. Friday's episode showcased a tense yet tender scene where Finn and Steffy shared a quiet moment in the garden. Finn, sensing Steffy's emotional turmoil, offered advice that was both wise and gently provocative. "You can't control how others react, but you can control how honest you are with yourself." Steffy, clearly moved, responded with a lingering glance that hinted at a deeper connection. The chemistry between the two has fans speculating. Is this the start of a new romance, or will Steffy's loyalty to Liam prevent any further developments? The scene ended with Finn leaving, but the camera lingered on Steffy, her thoughts visibly conflicted. This subtle cliffhanger left viewers questioning whether Steffy's heart is truly divided or if fate has another plan in store. Brooke and Shauna. Rivalry intensifies. Brooke Catherine Kelly Lang and Shauna Denise Richards continue to be at the center of a tense rivalry that escalated dramatically on Friday. Brooke caught wind of Shauna's manipulations involving Ridge and immediately confronted her. The scene crackled with tension, with Brooke delivering lines full of both fury and disappointment. "I won't let you come between my family, Shauna. Not now, not ever." Shauna, ever the provocateur, smirked and replied with a hint of menace, "Brooke, you underestimate me. I know things you don't, and soon, everyone will see the truth." This cryptic remark hints at future secrets that could turn the Forrester world upside down, and viewers are left speculating what Shauna could possibly reveal. Liam's dilemma. Heart vs. trust. Back at Liam's office, the scene focused on the emotional aftermath of Steffy's revelation. Liam, usually decisive, appeared conflicted as he grappled with feelings of love, betrayal, and duty. His internal struggle was masterfully portrayed, highlighting the complexity of his character. In a particularly emotional monologue, Liam admitted that while he loves Steffy, trust is the foundation of any relationship. This line resonated deeply with fans who have followed Liam's tumultuous love life over the years. Will he forgive Steffy, or will this secret be the breaking point? Only time will tell, but Friday's episode certainly set the stage for dramatic fallout. Secret alliances. Sally and Carter. Meanwhile, a surprising subplot emerged involving Sally Spectra and Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor. The two were seen conspiring over a new client who could shift the balance of power at Forrester Creations. Their alliance was whispered in secrecy, adding another layer of intrigue to the already complex tapestry of business and romance. Sally, known for her bold strategies, seemed to be leveraging her charm and intelligence to gain an edge over the Forresters. Carter, ever the loyal friend but ambitious in his own right, provided strategic counsel that made their alliance particularly formidable. Fans are buzzing about the potential fallout from this partnership. Could it lead to a corporate coup, or will the Forresters regain control before disaster strikes? Hope's heartache. A twist in love. Hope Logan Annika Noel also took center stage on Friday, facing her own emotional rollercoaster. She found herself caught between Thomas's manipulations and Liam's emotional distance. The tension came to a head during a private moment in the Forrester garden, where Hope confronted Thomas about his intentions. Thomas, ever the schemer, attempted to manipulate Hope's emotions, claiming he has always had her best interests at heart. Hope, however, was not easily swayed and delivered a powerful statement: "I see through you, Thomas. And I won't let you play with my heart." This interaction not only underscored Hope's growing strength as a character but also set the stage for future conflicts with Thomas. Fans are left wondering if Thomas will escalate his schemes or finally reconsider his choices. Bold and beautiful twist. A mysterious visitor. The episode took an unexpected turn with the arrival of a mysterious visitor at Forrester Creations. The individual, whose identity was concealed until the very last scene, hinted at bringing secrets that could shake the entire family to its core. The teaser left viewers speculating wildly. Could it be a long-lost relative, a former lover, or a business rival? The suspense was palpable, and the timing, right before the weekend, ensured that fans would be glued to their screens next week. The interaction between this mysterious figure and Ridge hinted at a past that could unravel long-standing family dynamics. The way Ridge's expression shifted from cautious curiosity to visible concern hinted at the gravity of the revelation to come. This cliffhanger perfectly encapsulated the essence of The Bold and the Beautiful: drama, intrigue, and the ever-present possibility of secrets spilling into the open. Friday's emotional highs and lows. Friday's episode expertly balanced high-stakes drama with intimate, emotional storytelling. Steffy's secret, Ridge and Thomas's confrontation, Brooke and Shauna's rivalry, and the mysterious visitor all contributed to a rollercoaster of emotions. Fans were treated to a mix of tension, heartbreak, and suspense that left them eagerly anticipating Monday's episode. The episode also showcased the series' strength in character development. Each character's motivations, fears, and desires were explored, making their actions feel authentic, even when they were shocking. This depth is what keeps audiences invested in the Forrester family saga and ensures that every revelation carries emotional weight. Predictions. What's next? As fans digest Friday's revelations, several questions loom large. Will Liam forgive Steffy, or is their relationship at a breaking point? How will Ridge handle Thomas's rebellious actions, and could this lead to a major fallout within Forrester Creations? What secrets is Shauna hiding, and how will they impact Brooke and the rest of the family? Could Sally and Carter's alliance pose a genuine threat to the Forrester empire? Who is the mysterious visitor, and what secrets will they bring? These questions are sure to drive intense discussion on fan forums and social media over the weekend. The Bold and the Beautiful continues to excel at keeping viewers guessing, blending romance, family drama, and corporate intrigue into a seamless, addictive narrative. Final thoughts. Friday's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful was a masterclass in soap opera storytelling. It combined emotional depth, jaw-dropping twists, and tantalizing cliffhangers that left fans eager for more. From Steffy's secrets to Ridge and Thomas's fiery confrontation, Brooke and Shauna's rivalry, and the mysterious visitor's arrival, every storyline delivered suspense, drama, and plenty of surprises. As the weekend begins, fans are left speculating, theorizing, and eagerly anticipating the next installment of this iconic series. One thing is certain: in the world of The Bold and the Beautiful, nothing is ever simple, and every revelation carries the potential to change lives forever. Friday may be over, but the drama is far from finished. The Bold and the Beautiful continues to remind viewers why it remains one of the most thrilling and beloved soap operas on television.